Hello and welcome to today's live coaching call and community conversation. Today we are going to be talking about Menopause 2.0 or phases of postmenopause, maybe is the better way to say what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share with you some of my own personal experiences and some of the things that I have been incorporating to get some relief from this new phase of being an aging woman that I am going through. And I wanted to also share the story because I don't think a lot of women or people in general are talking about the fact that things are constantly changing with us as we're in this season of what we call the aging season, right? And kind of give us an opportunity or a game plan to kind of head things off or be prepared if it happens maybe to you as a woman who's going through menopause. So welcome. My name is Diane Parham. I am the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, as well as our midlife mindset shift course and community where we do group coaching with women who are graduates of our intermittent fasting course. Both courses are currently open. Registration closes tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for the intermittent fasting course if you're interested in joining us for July. So let me know, what season of menopause do you feel like you are in? Are you perimenopausal? Are you menopausal? Are you what we're told is menopausal or postmenopausal? And are you noticing maybe some seasons of change or phases of change as you're transitioning through some of these protocols that we have for us as women who are aging in today's world? So let's get started on today's conversation. Okay, so what I also want to talk about, and I have something here that I can share with you guys, and that is what the definition of postmenopause is. So postmenopause is the time after menopause when a woman hasn't experienced a period for over a year. Postmenopause, you will no longer have periods, but some women do continue to experience symptoms of menopause. So I have never really connected personally with what the phrase post-menopause is by definition. I think anything that is post means that you're done with it. You should be seeing some relief from it, and you get to be in a whole new phase, right? So for me, I personally, like I said, have never ever connected with the phrase post-menopause. I know it's a term. I think it's even a medical term, and it's what we're supposed to be comfortable with living in after we've gone through that 12-month cycle. But what I'm here to share with you today is that there are also phases that we go through even when we are deemed postmenopausal women. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm calling this postmenopause phase 2 or menopause phase 2, right? And the changes that we went through or I went through and a lot of women in this community go through are the obvious ones, right? So we do know that we have, our menstrual cycle ceases after 12 months. That's when we know that the whole transition has taken place. We have the really obvious ones like weight gain, metabolic changes, meaning we've gained weight and we don't understand why. We have the night sweats, the mood shifts, the hot flashes, like all those things are the things that are really talked about when we think about or we connect mentally with menopause, right? And that's so obvious. And so when you get through that, let's say you're practicing some lifestyle changes and you get through all that and you're like, I finally got this weight thing under control and I've balanced out some of my hormones that were out of whack and I've made some significant health improvements like a lot of women here in this community have, myself included. I have a clean bill of health as a 57-year-old, what's called postmenopausal woman. So there's nothing that I have to be really concerned about health-wise in this stage of life that I'm in, but there are certain sensations or feelings or shifts that have been taking place for me personally, probably over the last 6 months or so. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. They're not night sweats. They're not really like the hormonal weight gain that I felt when I was transitioning from perimenopause to menopause. It's a different kind of brain sensation that I have going on. Like all kinds of new feelings are coming out of my body. And so this is what I really want to focus on today. It's not like the transition from perimenopause into menopause and then going, I'm out of menopause. No, we are always in menopause, right? We are going to stay in this season of our life and this hormonal stage for the rest of our life. And there can be some things that are going to still shift for you, despite the fact that you're living a very healthy lifestyle, despite the fact that you have a clean bill of health. Like thank goodness we've got that all handled. But there might be some just like things that are just nuisances, or you're questioning about what's going on with your body. So let's talk about that. So what I have personally experienced as a phase 2 woman in this season of menopause, again, I'm 57, clean bill of health. I just had my physical. I talked about how my osteopenia is even being reversed or heading in a reverse type of situation. So no major health concerns as a 57-year-old woman. But these are the things that I have experienced over the past probably 6 months or so. Anxiety and panic attacks. And I am not a person that if you said anxiety or panic attacks, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's me. That's not me. That has never been me. But over the past like 6 months or so, I'm like, why am I feeling this anxious feeling? Why do I feel like I'm having these like serious, like almost like I have to jump out of my body sensation, panic attacks? And why is it that I'm having these thoughts of things that seem really out of my control and scary at the same time? So that's what I've personally been experiencing, despite the fact that I have no major like health crises to manage, no family crises, like everything in our life is great. I have no complaints about anything. So what am I panicking about? And those are the questions that I've been asking. Sudden like waves of sadness when I have really nothing that I can pinpoint that feeling to. It's just a wave or a sensation. Joint pain, like joint pain that I can't make a connection to. And I've always been really tuned into my body. Like my body and I have a really open and clear and trusting lines of communication. But I would think about going to work out and I'm like, oh, the thought of how my joints are going to hurt, like my knees, my ankles, my feet, like even doing upper body work. I'm a big proponent of push-ups and planks. You guys know that. And I'm like, oh, my elbows are going to hurt. My wrists are going to hurt. My shoulders are going to hurt. And just the thought of how the sensations and the feelings of my body and the pain that I was going to endure made me really unmotivated about working out. And so joint pain that I couldn't make a connection to why I was feeling that. Disruptive sleep patterns, and this mostly occurred with panic attacks, or those I would wake up in the middle of the night just almost afraid of things. I couldn't even pinpoint to what they were, but that sensation of panic. So not insomnia, meaning I don't have a problem falling asleep. I could fall asleep fine, but 2 to 3 hours into my sleep, I would literally wake up in a state of panic and not understand why that was happening. New metabolic shifts, right? And so this is where I was like really perplexed because I'm fasting well. I have no questions about what I'm doing with my fasting. I probably pulled back a little bit on my fitness for 2 reasons. One, the joint pain was like, who wants to endure that? And I don't want to be drugged up on a bunch of painkillers to get a workout in. And I was also in the back of my mind concerned about the previous osteopenia results that I got, and like, oh my gosh, is this getting worse? Well, now that I know it's getting better, like I don't have those thoughts anymore. And so I was like, okay, now I can at least know that my body is capable of doing what I'm asking it to do because I am giving it all the love and support that it needs. And we're really now have proof that things are healing. So what is causing these new metabolic shifts? So we're going to talk about that in just a second. And then I have like these seasons of mental weakness. It's not even like forgetfulness like I experienced when I first started going through perimenopause, but it's just like my brain is tired. And so if you're on my email list and you've received an email from me and you're like, yo, what's wrong with this girl? Can she even spell? Yes, I can spell. My brain is just not picking up things the way it used to, or it was, right? It's like a shift in even my brain. And it's not that I'm even like, there's like, I don't even feel like there's like this cognitive decline. It's just mental weakness. So here's where I want to ask, as a community of women who are probably going through this as well, give your women some grace, right? I am a college educated, very intelligent woman who's just going through a season of change, and I might miss some things. I do my best to catch those things, but every now and then something's going to slip. And remember, you might go through this season as well. I'm so grateful that I work for myself and I don't have to, answer to a boss or an office full of people in this regard. Like I can pretty much recover from anything that I create in my own community, but like it's a thing. It's a very real thing. Your brain is just going to miss some things because of whatever it is you're going through. And then the last one is fatigue. Like, there have been days where I'm like, I have zero energy. Again, there's nothing that I can say that I'm doing wrong. There's nothing that I feel like I'm doing that's going to put me in that position. It's just what my body is going through. And I had to lean into that a little bit. And so I've really pulled back a lot in some things in my life that I've just deemed non-urgent, not important. And I'm just going to let myself get by until things come back into play. And so I can say for the last probably 30 to 45 days, I'm starting to feel the shifts and I'm starting to feel some relief from some of these things. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have done and some of the thought processes that I have gone through to get myself back into this phase of feeling a little bit more like myself, and really trying to pinpoint some areas of my life where I had to make some changes and be really honest with myself. So if you're feeling any of these, here is what I really want us to start using as a way to think ourselves through this. There is nothing wrong with you. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I want you to catch yourself in that thought process and think, what's going on with me? When we think about what's going on with us, we really do create an opportunity where we can make some really good changes without doing things like falling off a wagon, throwing in the towels, jumping ship, quitting on yourself, or even putting ourselves in harm's way. So that's one of the things that I've really been doubling down on is what is going on with me. One of the things that I feel really good about in the fact that this lifestyle that I have living for the past, 7 or 8 years is really proving to stand the test of time is that I did just have my physical with my doctor and everything is moving in the right direction. I just had a mammogram. No issues there. I just went to the dentist. The dentist is like, girl, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because women at 57, their dental health is nowhere near what yours is. So everything is working, right? So then I have to go, okay, what is going on with me? What's going on internally that I have to make maybe some new shifts with, or maybe pay a little bit more attention to, or maybe just get a little bit more clear and honest about. So here are some things that I have been incorporating that have really over, like I said, the last 45 days or so, I'm really starting to notice some significant changes in how I'm feeling and how it is my body is showing up for me. So you have to be honest with yourself. Like, are there some areas of your life that you might have to just put in check? So with the anxiety and the panic attacks, what I have done is cut out coffee on a daily basis. So if you follow me on social media, I am a nitro cold brew girl. Like, I love me some nitro cold brew. But that was one of those things that I had to question. Is having this coffee after my workout something that could be contributing to this anxiety and or like panic attacks that I am having? Am I just too stimulated from the caffeine? And so I've put that in check and I've eliminated that. I have a cutoff time for any kind of caffeine that I'm consuming. And if I'm going to have like my pre-workout in the morning, I do not also have coffee. I have no problem staying awake during the day. I don't hit like energy slumps or any of those kind of things. So it was just sort of a habitual thing that I had been incorporating in my life because I love it. But it was also contributing to some of the things that I now was feeling that maybe coffee just might be too much for me on a daily basis, or at least when I'm doing some other things. So that's where I was really honest with myself and have no problem cutting out that daily coffee. The other thing that I did in the month of June, so for all of us who made June promises, you can let me know in the comment section how you're doing with your June promise as well, now that we're at the end of June, is I put alcohol in check as well. Social alcohol can be one of those things where we're just like, oh, I'll just have a glass of wine, or, oh, we'll go out on Fridays and we'll do, like for us, it's like margaritas on a patio with some chips and salsa. And I had to really put that in check too. And that was mostly just from the mental like fatigue that I was feeling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is that contributing to how my brain is feeling? And so I put that in as my promise for June. I've done really well, not a drop of alcohol in the month of June. And I'm really considering if and or how I'm going to reincorporate that now that June is over, right? Like I have no big like desire to July 1st go out and have a margarita or even a glass of wine. I'm like, I'm kind of okay without it. And I'm starting to feel better. So that's another one of those areas you might want to be honest with yourself, right? And see if you can see some significant change. The other thing I've been incorporating a lot is I breathe, I pause, I think, and I ask before making any decisions. Oftentimes when we're not taking a pause, right? We're not just taking a big inhale and exhale, and we're not thinking through something and asking ourselves questions, we tend to make really drastic changes very quickly without considering what the outcome might be. So I have stayed the course. I've stayed the course with my fasting. I have stayed the course with my feasting. I've buttoned some things up a little bit, but there's nothing missing from my life that I suddenly have to go read a bunch of research papers to try to figure out. It's just a shift in my body, and I have to just be really honest with some of the things that I let kind of slip in that may not be serving you. And I've done all of that through this process right here. I stop and take a breath. I just pause for a second. I think about what's going in my body and I ask myself some questions. And when I'm at my best, I go back to like, when I'm at my best, what kind of things am I doing? And I just reincorporate some of those things. And like I said, I just tighten up on some of the extras. I lean into healing choices. What does that mean? Oftentimes when we are feeling down and out, or we're feeling discouraged, or we're feeling like something is wrong with us, as opposed to what's going on with us, we can fall into some of those old like pity party habits, or some of those old habits where we tend to sabotage ourselves because of how we're thinking, as in what's wrong with me. And when we're in a what's wrong with me thought, then we make decisions based on the feeling that's created. And I really always correct myself and like, girl, just figure out what's going on with you. Like, what is going on with you in this phase of life, and how can we get yourself on track? And so I always lean into healing choices. I sup up. What does that mean? I really lean into the supplements that I know work for me from a healing phase. My brain supplements, my energy supplements. I've done some research over the past couple of months. I've incorporated some hormonal supplements that are because I am not a candidate for HRT, so I can't take any kind of hormone replacement therapy because of family history and just personal choice, basically. And so I have to find some alternatives to that. So I'm experimenting with some of those things. And when I feel like it's a worthy investment and I'm getting the benefits from what I am risking, like financially or even time wise, or what it is I'm incorporating into my routine, when I really feel confident about that, I will share what I am doing on my email list with everyone who's there. In hopes that maybe you can find some relief as well. So I sup up. I'm taking my sleeping supplements, like I said, my brain supplements, my metabolic supplements, my hormone supplements, all the things like it's my job, right? I don't miss them, because the consistency with making sure that your body has everything that it needs to really adjust to these shifts is super important. And here in this community, consistency over time is the secret sauce for all of us. Give yourself some grace. Look, this is the first time I've gone through this. I don't have a whole lot of resources in my family to kind of lean on to figure out if this is normal, or if I'm just completely like a unicorn going through this for the first time, like no one else has ever experienced it. I don't know, right? And that's why I'm here to share this with you, because you might be in the same situation. I have never experienced menopause. Like I said, I don't connect with the phrase post-menopause, because if it's really post, all of this should be over, right? And it's not. It's a continuation of the rest of my life, and I have to learn to ebb and flow with these phases. And so I'm giving myself some grace. Like I said, I pulled back on all the things that I haven't deemed urgent and super important. I'm doing everything that I need to do to, get through this season. And when I feel like I'm back and I'm feeling like myself again, 100%, I'm going to go back in with my head down and grind and do all the things that I need to do. but it's okay to give yourself some grace. Take some things off the table, find some resources, maybe delegate some things out, lean into and onto the people who are around you, who love you and support you, and ask for some grace from them as well. And then if you are involved in communities with other women, give them some grace as well. They might be going through the same things that you're doing, and then avoid doing any harm. What do I mean by this? Again, I'm going to go back to this thing about don't sit in a pity party, right? And it's not to say that I haven't had a couple of days of pity parties. I just get myself out of it as soon as possible, because I can either go in a downward spiral or I can pull myself up and really thrive in knowing that I have everything within me to create a better opportunity for myself and a better feeling by just not creating any harm, right? There's nothing wrong with us. There are just some changes going on with us, and we need to adjust to those changes. And we really need to listen to our bodies and open up that communication that we have and the dialogue we have with those signs and signals our body is sending us, and then adjust accordingly. So I'm here to tell you I'm feeling much better. Hopefully you'll notice some energy coming back for me, and probably even just a little bit of confidence. When you're not feeling your best, you don't 100% feel confident in your own skin. And we all go through that, and I go through that myself, but I'm coming out of it, and I'm feeling great. And I'm going to continue to share this journey with you guys here, continue to profess my love and commitment and respect for intermittent fasting, because if there's one thing that I feel really great about this season of life that I'm in is, I may have some panic attacks. I may have a little fatigue in my brain. I may have, a day where I'm not feeling 100%, but man, I'm not managing any major health crises. And that's something that I'm grateful for every day. And the thing that I really do credit intermittent fasting for, I'm coming into this at a healthy state. And this is the one thing that I've always said here in this community. I know that intermittent fasting is not a miracle drug, right? There can be some things that still come up in my life that are health issues that maybe I wasn't expecting to have on the horizon. But I'm going to battle those things from a state of health, and I'm going to battle those things from a state of confidence. I'm going to pull out all the tools from my tool belt, and I'm going to implement them as needed. And I want to make sure that you guys have this comfort and confidence with your tool belt as well. One of the things I also wanted to share with you guys before we close this up for comments from our community group is this. I want you to think about what it is that we put on our radar for scanning and monitoring and getting tested with our doctors as women in general, but especially as we come into this aging season. And I was thinking, I get my mammogram every year. Again, it's my job. I don't miss it, because the importance of mammogram is to detect changes if you haven't noticed a change yourself, right? So it's my job. I also go to the dentist twice a year, it's my job, because I don't want something to come up unexpectedly because I'm neglecting to take care of myself and do the preventative things. I go to my annual appointment every year. I get my blood drawn. I get my DEXA scan. I, get my cervix checked. All these things we do, my colonoscopy, I do it on a regular basis. The one thing that I haven't added to that list of things that I need to start creating a baseline for and monitoring on an annual or however often I can do it basis is my brain. And my brain is my moneymaker. My brain is the thing that's going to keep me in this game. So that's one of the things that I've put on my list for 2023. I'm going to go get my brain scanned. I'm going to go I think I'm going to go to the Amen clinic. We have one here in Dallas. And I'm going to start creating a protocol and a plan and a baseline for what's going on in my brain, just to make sure that there's not something serious going on. And I have a plan of attack and can do some things beyond just what I'm guessing to do with preventative things with some of the supplements I'm taking, and really create a roadmap for how I want my brain health to be moving forward. So it's one of the things I'm going to be adding to my list, and I highly recommend you do some research on that as well, because again, we want to have a baseline. Where are we starting from, or where are we at this point? And then we want to start monitoring things to make sure that they're not getting worse. And or we want to be able to be in a position where we can test things and see that we're actually making some progress in the right direction, just as I did with my osteopenia and my DEXA scan. So I will take you guys along on that journey as well, and kind of give you some feedback of what I'm getting from that scan as well. Okay. Just a quick reminder, you guys, and I love you guys. You've been so supportive with our crew neck t-shirt shop, our merch shop. I just wanted to let you guys know it is still open if you haven't grabbed one yet. This is another one of those things when you're thinking about what's going on with me, and you could put on a nice cozy crew neck with me sending you a big hug, letting you know everything's going to be okay. Being able to throw these on when we're hanging out around the house or we're out and about doing our thing is a super fun and cool reminder for this lifestyle that we're living and the future that we're creating for ourselves. So if you haven't done so yet, you can go to shop for today's agingwoman.com, grab your crew neck. The shop will be open until Friday at noon. So that's tomorrow at noon. If you're international, we did make some changes to the international shipping. So, international shipping on a sweatshirt that weighs a pound is just expensive. We're doing the best that we can. We're passing on our shipping discount to anyone who's, having to pay shipping costs as well. So we fixed that. We it's going to take longer to get to you, but it's less expensive. And then everyone in the U.S., of course, we're doing the best we can with shipping charges for that as well. So if you haven't gotten one, go grab one. I can't wait to see a picture you guys send me on that as well. Okay, Judy B. Hello, my friend. Jan. Hi, Diane. I am hopefully the ending of menopause. Hot flash is not as bad. Just can't seem to stop the weight gain. Yeah, Jan, the thing with weight gain is it's just it's a hormonal shift, right? And one of the things that we need to remember with the weight gain of menopause is that it's part of the reality we have to live as menopausal women. Now, does that mean that you have to gain excess amount of weight and you have to completely change everything that's going on with your physique? No, that's not what that means. That means that we just need to kind of stay one step ahead of it, right? Intermittent fasting has been the thing that has really helped because it's your hunger hormones that really get out of balance when our sex hormones change, right? They're all connected in this big family of hormones. And so as our sex hormones are changing, our hunger hormones are adjusting and kind of trying to make up for some things. And so that's what really gets out of balance. And so intermittent fasting for women going through these changes has really proven to be the fastest and the most sensible way to get that weight loss in check, right? Or the weight gain in check and really start to see some changes. And the thing that most of us really see is the physique change, right? And not so much the scale change. And so focus on the improvements you're seeing in your physique, focus on, visualizing the changes that are going on in your body, and then just rinse and repeat what's working for you. Will we ever have our, 20-year-old pre-having kids bodies back? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. We've done some great things with our bodies over time, and our bodies are going to change and adjust to that. So fall in love with your body and then do the best that you can to get yourself in a place where you look and feel your best every day, while you're also living your most authentic life and you're being present for everything that you have going on. And intermittent fasting, really being honest about some food choices that you're making and using foods that are going to stimulate the metabolic changes that you need to make. That's all that we can do. Shauna, I'm currently in perimenopause dealing with hot flashes and night sweats. Yeah, so here's some of the things that I really recommend with the perimenopausal hot flashes and, awkwardness that perimenopause is for so many of us, is really make sure you're looking at your environment for some things that could be triggering some of those hormonal responses. Perimenopause, menopause, menstrual cycles are not supposed to knock us off our feet. And a lot of the reasons why so many women in today's world are suffering so greatly with these seasons of change is a lot of what's going on in our environment, right? So what I always recommend doing first is realizing anything you put in, on, and around your body is going to cause a hormonal reaction. And a lot of people are finding relief with getting rid of things like soy candles, a lot of these environmental toxins like air fresheners, even, changing some cleaning products. And you don't have to become like someone's called me this once, you don't have to become crunchy, right? You don't have to become like super, super extreme in your non-toxic lifestyle. Just very subtle changes can make some pretty significant results for you. The big thing is the soy and a lot of these like plastics. those things would be the first things that I would look at. Get some of those out of your life and clean some of that stuff off and see if that helps for sure. Magnesium. If I haven't said it, magnesium is another one of those things that will help you really get rid of those hot flashes and night sweats and kind of balance some things out for you as well. And if you need a good recommendation for magnesium, just reach out to me. I have a 20% discount code, and it's the magnesium my entire family uses, so I can get you that as well. I also ordered a couple sweatshirts. That will help for sure, my friend, because you could put your sweatshirt on like when you're cold in your fasted state, and then you could just tie it around your waist when you have a little hot flash. It's all good. All good. Want to be natural. Hello, my friend. It's so good to see you today, Gina. I'm so grateful for this Menopause 2 topic. I'm also 57 and struggling with some additional things now, and I've worked so hard to go through peri and menopause holistically. Well, I can tell you that I'm still very holistic in the ways that I'm doing things. I did go, I did bring a lot of this up to my doctor. She recommended some things. And like I said, when I feel really confident that what I am doing is working as advertised and it's worthy of you guys making an investment in you, I will share what I'm doing. I just don't like to share too quickly, because I know I don't want it to come from a sense of what I call supplementation desperation. I want to feel really confident with anything that I share with you guys. So when I get to the place where I'm like, yes, I will reorder that, I feel like it's working for me, that's when I'm going to share it with you guys. And it's all very natural. So that's the approach that I have to take, because I can't do anything else. So girlfriend, hang out. Don't worry. I'm going to fill you guys in. The other thing that I've done, and I'm totally 100% okay with it, is my doctor gave me an anti-inflammatory. I don't know the name off the top of my head. And so what I do is I take it once every 3 days. I don't take it every day. And it has helped significantly with any kind of joint pain that I was having. The other thing that I am considering doing, and she gave me a referral for this, is going to see a physical therapist. And she was like, maybe you have some things that just need to be worked on, and I'm like, okay. When she first said physical therapy, I'm like, I haven't been in a car accident. Like, why would that's when I think physical therapy, right? And she's like, no, sometimes you just need someone to kind of look at your mechanics and see what's going on. And maybe there's some areas that you have some weakness, or in some areas that we need to do some improvement on. So that's also on my radar to take advantage of as well. Jan, I thought I was crazy having the sadness thought. Sometimes I scare myself where my mind will go. Never had that before. Yeah, new for me too, right? I've had negative thoughts before, like a negative mindset thought, but that overwhelming sensation of sadness is not anything that I have ever really experienced before. And I do just think it's just hormonal changes, right? I think that my hormones have taken another dip. I'm not doing anything to replace anything, so it makes sense. My doctor doesn't want to test them, and I'm kind of grateful for that, because I don't really even know if I want to know what they are. So I think it is just that maybe next depletion that our body goes through of some hormones. And so take your vitamins, right? Do happy things for yourself. I'm very diligent about keeping fresh flowers in the house, keeping the windows open, getting outside as much as I can, doing all the happiness things. And so maybe incorporate some of those things for yourself. Read happy things, make sure that you're getting out of your house and associating with people. That human connection is really big also. But no, you are not crazy, my friend. You are not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. There's just something going on with you. Gina, all above the same. Yeah. Shauna, I was feeling like that, having the panic attacks, feeling anxious. Yeah. I've just recently started hearing a lot more women talk about this. So I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. It's just what we go through, right? And so again, it is something that, we should take seriously. If you are the kind of person that can manage this on your own from making some lifestyle changes, that's fantastic. If you are the person that you feel like you need to get some additional support or some additional resources from your doctor, never hesitate to take care of you first. There is no shame in the game of getting help where you need help. It's just like the whole anti-inflammatory thing. I'm like, yes, I will take that, because I need to continue working out. I need to continue strengthening my body. I don't want to feel like I'm in pain all the time. And so if that's something that can help me, maybe it's just a phase. I don't know. Maybe it's something I have to do for the rest of my life. I'm okay with that because I also don't want to give up the physical activity and the workouts that I do, because that's all part of not only my physical health, but my mental and emotional health as well. So you got to do what you got to do for sure. And then Liz from sunny Croatia, I'm never going to get tired of saying that, been without a bathroom scale since May 1st. A little anxiety about weighing myself next week, trusting the plan, and will continue the goal of a clean fast every day. Why do you have to weigh yourself next week? What's going to change in your life if you weigh yourself or you don't weigh yourself, right? And can you use some different points to determine what's going on with your body? I like to use my clothes first and foremost. Like, how am I feeling when I'm putting my clothes on? If I feel confident, like today, like I got my little tank top on, right? I got my shoulders rolling. I've got my arms confidently out. I got some 6-inch shorts on. Like, I'm feeling pretty decent in my skin, or I'm probably feeling really good in my skin today. Like, why would I weigh myself? I'm feeling confident exactly where I'm sitting right here. I don't need the number to justify or negate anything that's going on with me today. I'm feeling great. Got my workout done, got a great night's sleep last night. Everything's going good. I'm not going to tempt that with stepping on a scale. So consider why it is you feel like you need to get on a scale. Jan, I love a good cocktail, but I stopped drinking at home. I save it for the times we are out to dinner, and only if I know the place will make a really good drink. Yeah, 100%. Scratch drinks are the best, right? Don't give me something you pre-made. And the other thing is, when you go out to a restaurant, they give you a restaurant pour versus a home pour. There's a big difference in that. And that's also something to kind of keep in check as well, right? When you're at home, you pour a glass of wine with this much wine. And when you're out at a restaurant, you get this much wine. And that's really what a serving is. So that is a good way to keep your serving sizes in check as well. So great boundaries you put on yourself there, my friend. Shauna, I'm glad you had the discussion. So the next time I'm feeling anxious, I'll know it's part of the menopause process. Yeah. And create some habits that you can kind of, pull in. Like, I was in the beginning, I was like, what is wrong with me? I said that. And I'm like, no, girl, there's nothing wrong with you. You're doing everything right. There's something going on with you. And I stopped fighting it. And instead of laying in bed feeling panicked, I would just get up. I would go, read a book, or I'd go sleep on the couch, or I'd go sleep in the guest bedroom. And sometimes just even changing the environment really did kind of get me out of that. Like, no, there's just something going on with you. Give yourself some grace. Like, I have to go through all of these processes that I coach on, right? I go through it all with y'all. And so when I catch myself thinking something's wrong, I go, no, there's something going on. Let's get to the bottom of what's going on. You're doing everything that you can do. And so changing your environment, getting up, going to read a book, getting a glass of water, maybe getting back to bed, that just changing the scenario of what's going on in that moment you're feeling kind of panicky really has helped me, and maybe that'll help you too. And then magnesium. If I haven't said it, magnesium also. Erica, October 22 grad, thanks so much for your insight. Really needed to understand these hormonal changes. Can't wait to get my shirt tomorrow. Hungry is where the magic happens. Yeah, so we close out. So just so you guys know, we close out order taking tomorrow at noon. Then we, like, these hands make your shirt for you. That's how much love goes into these shirts. We make them ourselves. Because it's a family business. So we are going to make all your shirts beginning of next week, and then they'll go out into the mail. So you'll probably actually have them next Friday. So keep an eye out on your inbox. This is in your mailbox. This is how we are working things right now. And then when we get our system up and running, then we're going to start to print them on demand. So I can't wait for you to get your shirts too. I want to get my hearing checked as a baseline. Another great thing, right? Like, why are we not checking these things on a regular basis? I even go to the eye doctor like once every 2 years. Why am I not getting my brain scanned? Why? And I think it's just one of those things, because I'm going to probably have to do it out of pocket. And so I think sometimes those out of pocket things we tend to like let fall by the wayside because our insurance isn't covering it, but I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get that done. And I'll keep you guys posted, and then let us know about the hearing as well. I think if you're a Costco member, you can do it at Costco. So check some resources and do a little research on that, and then get back to us and let us know what you found out. August 22 grad, 35 pounds down. I must say, DYANN and 24 IF have changed my life in the most incredible way. At 62 years old, I feel I look and feel the best I have in decades. Girlfriend, I am loving that for you. And that's exactly the way it's supposed to be, right? And I am so excited for you. 35 pounds down, 62, feeling the best you have in decades. Like, you're living the best life, and we're so proud of you, and we love having you here in our community with us. Angela, what's up, my friend? Wise words, Diane. A lot of this advice is really helpful, being that I am still jet lagged from my trip back from Finland. Easing myself back into long, clean fasting, I will give myself grace. Yeah, and intermittent fasting, I don't know if you all know this or not, is the best way to reset your circadian rhythm. And so, what we did when we came back from Hawaii is we just got ourselves back on our schedule as fast as possible. And we didn't come with that mindset of like, but it's 2:00 in the morning in Hawaii and it's 7:00 in the morning here. No, it's 7:00 in the morning. And we really kind of forced our body to get back into that, our schedule. And then the fasting part of it will help your body adjust back to that circadian rhythm. So get up, get yourself some sunshine, nice, long, clean fast, long as in 20 hours. Keep that nutrition dialed in. And before you know it, you'll be right back on track, my friend. And just have your little memories to rely on from Finland. So great. Donna, you look amazing today. I've also experienced anxiety and depression, the weight gain, belly fat. I'll be 61 next month. I've been postmenopausal for probably going on 11 years. Yeah. And again, we ebb and flow. Like, we get to ebb and flow in the choices, and our body's going to ebb and flow as well. And I had that same thing. I'm like, why am I holding on to belly fat? Like, I got rid of all of that. I haven't done anything for me to have this belly fat creep back on. And again, I just had to make some shifts, and belly fat's all gone. Belly's flat again. I'm feeling really confident. I've had amazing workouts these past couple of weeks, which again just fires me up, because that is my mental and emotional well-being trick, as it is so much as it is my physical, right? And so when the trifecta starts kicking into place, everything starts falling back into place. And so, yeah, notice it, like, give it some grace. I also say give it the respect that it deserves, right? That's your body kind of saying, hey, we got some things going on. We need a little love and attention. And when we treat it like that, we treat it with respect, we can get through it a lot easier as well. So I hope that you're rebounding from that and you're feeling better. Gina, can you please post or repeat the shopping website again? Yeah, let me put it up here for you guys. Let me copy this. Copy. I'll put it in the comment section for you. It'll post both on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So it's shopfortodaysagingwoman.com. It's in the comment section in that link. You should be able to click on Gina on YouTube and just go from there. If you're on my email list, I sent out an email this morning too. Liz, hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, yo, there's 4 thumbs up from, I think they're from Facebook. I haven't even got any from YouTube yet. Come on, y'all. We need some of those thumbs up. No, there's not a lot of people talking about this season of menopausal changes, right? And I'm anticipating that there's going to be more as I move through life. I'll take them. Like, I'd rather be here and deal with these phases and adjust to the changes than not have an opportunity to experience them at all. So I am grateful for all of the things that I get to live through as an aging woman in today's world. I'm grateful that this is all documented. So my daughter's going to have some resources that she can rely on, because I don't have any really resources that I can really rely on. And I don't always like to lean into research. Let me explain this to you guys. I wasn't part of the research. No one asked me what I wanted menopause to be called after the first 12 months of missing my menstrual cycle. Postmenopause makes no sense to me, right? But that's what we're supposed to call it, and that's what we're supposed to accept, and that's what we're supposed to embrace, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So I really like to go with the flow of my own body and really connect to that question of what's going on with me, and what kind of things do I know work for me, and how can I lean into that and respect that and give myself some grace so that I can see the other side of all of this, right? And so that's what I really encourage you guys to do too. Be your own research project. You have enough information. There is information everywhere. There's information overload. It tends to stall a lot of us, and we never even put things into action. So just start doing the really basic common sense things first, connect with your community, listen to some advice that's out there, test some things out, keep what works, discard what doesn't, and then just keep moving and grooving with what works for you and your body. Because there are a lot of things that I'm doing that might not work for a lot of you, and you've got to accept that and find the things that work for you. And there's a lot of people who've given me advice and I'm like, it doesn't work for me, and I'm okay with that too. So let's keep being our own research projects as well. And then do please hit those thumbs up for me. January 23 grad, post-menopausal, almost 10 years. Like you, I had no one to ask what the heck is going on. I do remind myself it's never the fast making me feel bad, sad, or not sleeping. Yeah, it's always some of those choices that we're making in our feasting window, right? And for me, I was loving that little habit I had at Starbucks with my nitro cold brew. And dang, that's a lot of caffeine. And I think my body just got to the place where it's like, no, girl, that's just too much for you right now. And how many nights, how many panic attacks, and how many like 3 o'clock in the morning wake ups am I going to have to give you for you to understand that this coffee is just not serving you right now? Okay, I get it. And I gave it up, and I'm feeling much better. And I'm not having as many of those panic attacks. And oftentimes it's just getting a workout in and really getting to that place where I'm exhausted at night, right? And I'm ready to get a full night's sleep. I also recommend, if you can, you can do it on your Apple Watch. I do have an Oura ring. I monitor my sleep as well. And that's been a really big, insightful thing for me also, is seeing what my sleep patterns are. And when I do something, what does my sleep turn out to be? And if I don't do something, what does my sleep turn out to be? And that has been a big tool that I've loved as well. So monitoring your sleep is another one of those things that's really great. And I am using my Lumen as well. So I'm checking to see, like, there have been a couple of mornings over the past, several months that I've woken up feeling like I was at a nightclub all night. I just woke up feeling drugged. I woke up feeling like I had like a hangover. My Lumen scores were very indicative of the way I was feeling. And I'm like, I haven't done anything different. And it's just my body chemistry and sleep, right? And maybe it is some cortisol issues, or maybe it was one of those nights when I had a panic attack. And if I go back and track it, I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, right? And again, I'm giving myself some grace on that, and the feedback and results that I'm getting from doing some, external monitoring has also led to some pretty good clues as well. So use all your resources as well. Do an inventory of your life. Like, what resources do you have available to you to test some things that are going on, or monitor some things so you can start connecting some dots on some things as well. So, yeah, it's good info. Thankful for you and this community. Dale, thank you so much. I'm grateful and thankful for you as well. Jan, I take magnesium, but it's confusing of the different types. So, Jan, if you want to, or what I'll do is in my next weekly community email, I'll share some of the things I've been doing for sleep. Yes, because there are different magnesiums out there, but I'll get you guys the information of what I've been using as well. Or you can email me and I'll give it to you. LB, any chance you'll be making any long sleeve t-shirts? We probably will. But here's the thing, when you do something like, a spin-off of your business in a merch shop, is we have to have, it's a supply and demand issue, one, and inventory issue. And so that's why we're taking orders, making, and then shipping. Because we're first and foremost, we're not a full-time t-shirt shop. It's just something that we're doing because we're interested in it. We hope it becomes, a bigger thing, and we want to support our community with some cool merch, right? And so we will start playing around with some different options. I am just a sucker for a really cozy crew neck sweatshirt. And so selfishly, maybe that's why we started with the crew neck here in Texas. I wear a crew neck 12 months out of the year because either it's cold outside and we need one, and it's warm inside and we don't need one in the winter. And then in the summertime, it's freezing inside and hot outside. So I change how and where and when I wear my crew neck, but I wear one 24/7 pretty much, inside and outside, depending on the season. So that's why we started with the crew neck. And because so many women complain about being super cold in a fasted state, so cozy up in a crew neck. But we're going to do some tanks. We are going to do some long sleeves. And I think we're even going to do some coffee mugs for those of us who, have an occasional coffee. But we're going to slowly roll those things out so we just don't get overwhelmed and then, burn out or whatever. So we're doing it very thoughtfully. But thank you for the suggestion. It's on our radar. Kara, hello. I've taken your course once before and was interested in the July class. Is the cost the same a second time through? Yes, because you can go through Carol, go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com/login. You can go through your course whenever you want if you still have access to it. So there's no need to buy the course a second time. You can go through it whenever you want. Know that our next course starts on Saturday. So it's the first Saturday of every month. Right now, we're going to make some changes to that probably in the fall, but you can jump in July 1st in the comment section and just put a reminder on your phone to check into your class every day. No cost to you. You can do that whenever you want. If you want to come back through and have like this community support or have access to questions, that you can ask me inside the community, then yeah, you have to pay for it again, just because you're getting that benefit. But you can go through it anytime you want. You don't need to pay for it if you've already had the course. And then, like I said, we're going to be making some changes. We do have the midlife mindset shift course where if you feel like you're constantly stumbling on the intermittent fasting part of things and you can't just create the consistency of it, then I highly recommend jumping into the midlife mindset shift course, because it's not the intermittent fasting belief that you're questioning, or it's not that you haven't gotten results. It's that your mindset is playing games with you and it's not allowing you to stay consistent. And so that's the work that we do inside the midlife mindset shift course. So Carol, I would recommend checking that out. And if you are still on my email list, I just sent an email out about that this morning, or you can email me for information. Liz, next week going home to Maryland. Yeah, just fast on the way back from Croatia. The fast, long, feast, well part of coming back. Fast on the plane. You decide when you're going to start your fast. You can go several hours just sitting on a plane without eating, without drinking, without doing any of those things. Just nice water, maybe some carbonated water. Get yourself into that system of the routine that you want to get home. Unpack your bags, take a shower, go to bed, wake up the next day. You'll be back in action before you know it. Lynn, I had this happen last month. I think it's when my cortisol is up too. As I got blood work done, I just up protein and take magnesium for sure. Strength training and walking to help me to love this segment. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. I've never had cortisol issues. I'm not that kind of person that like manages stress in those kind of ways. Like I just deal with it. I go for a run, like all the things, right? And so this is all very new to me as a 57-year-old woman. I've never dealt with these things before. And so that's why I think it was so shocking to me. I'm like, what's going on? I thought I was through all this. And so what's going on, right? And that is the big question that we need to ask ourselves. And so it all settle out. I'm already, like I said, feeling relief, and hopefully you're feeling the same way as well. Erica, should I expect the scale to move with IF or mainly see results in how my clothes fit? Both. Oftentimes you see the scale move in the very beginning because your body's going to release a lot of this water weight that we tend to hold on to when we're out of balance. And so oftentimes what happens with intermittent fasting is you see a significant drop in the scale weight in the beginning. And this is going to head you off, right? So here's your plan of attack. And then you kind of balance out, but you'll see physique changes continue to happen. You'll see clothes feelings change. You'll probably go down, in clothing sizes, but you might not see another shift in the scale. And so you have to just know that the scale is not the determining factor of success or failure. The scale is just one way that we measure things. And if you're feeling good in your skin, you're looking good in your skin, you're feeling confident when you get dressed in the morning, you like the way your clothes are fitting, then that, girlfriend, is all you need right there. Jan, my plan with taking the course in July is to help reestablish my relationship with food, fasting, being okay with the hunger, letting go of the must get my share. Those are my goals. Yeah, there's food for most people. There's food that is so plentiful that has become our problem. It's not the fact that food's not available. It's that we're afraid we're going to miss out, or we're afraid of what hungry is going to feel like, or we're anticipating some sensation tomorrow. And so we're going to feed ourselves today, or we're using food for the wrong reasons, right? Food isn't meant to entertain us. It doesn't solve our problems. It doesn't make work better. It doesn't settle a fight with a loved one. It doesn't eating uncontrollably or in a stressful situation doesn't make financial situations better. Like, so we've got to really work on that part of the relationship of food too. How are we using food in our life? And when we get all of that really dialed in, girlfriend, it's easy peasy from there. Warren 62. Hi, Diane. Can I order a shirt living in the UK? You 100% can. You can just go to the site, pick where it is you live. If for some reason where you live in the UK doesn't come up for shipping, there's a email address on the site. It's shop4todaysagingwoman@gmail.com. Just let us know and we'll make sure that wherever you're ordering from gets opened up, and then we'll email you back and let you know that it's good to go. But yeah, we are international as international starts developing for us. And we've gotten most of international markets open. Dima, I've been IF for more than 2 years now. My weight is what I have always wanted, have been stable for more than a year. I've decided to do 18.6 because I run 10Ks every other day. I feel amazing, rinse and repeat every day, even on vacation or on special events. Entering menopause and all is good. Is this normal? Like, I've never been or felt this good physically. So can I live this like this until the end of my life without changing anything? Well, you're never going to know until you just experience it, right? And this is again where, I say, like, these like scientific studies and terms that we put on things, like, it's so applicable to you, Dima, and you're doing great. So no need to change anything. Just keep living your best life. And if you start to feel some changes, then like maybe some of us are experiencing here, then you just go, okay, what's going on with me? And what kind of things can I shift? And am I being really honest about some things that I'm making? And then you just get to adjust from there. But man, girl, if you're running those 10Ks every day and 18.6 is working for you and you're feeling better than you ever have, keep doing what you're doing. I wouldn't even question it. And don't anticipate that something's going to go bad. Live each day for every day that you have and live in that moment and enjoy everything that you're doing. Don't anticipate anything in the future that's going to go wrong for you. Just live in the moment and do the best that you can with what you got right now. And then, like I said, we'll be here. So if something changes, come ask us. We'll help you. Where do I buy the shirt? So I put the comment in the comment section. I'm going to do it again, just so it's in a couple different places. Shop4todaysagingwoman.com. The shop will be open until tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time. Shop4todaysagingwoman.com is where you want to go. I am continually analyzing my food, exercise, and IF schedule. Yesterday, I cleaned out a closet and rediscovered 14 pairs of pants that now once again look great on me. Hooray for menopause. There you go, girlfriend. You are winning for sure. Here's another thing that I just experienced. That was fascinating to me. So I've always been lactose intolerant, always have had dairy problems, always have had dairy in check. But I have found that there are certain aspects of the family of dairy products that I can incorporate, no problems. Other things I can't even touch, right? And so I was adding in some lactose-free cottage cheese, and I was adding in some Greek yogurt, probably in the beginning of June. I was loving it. I wasn't noticing any kind of digestive problems whatsoever, but I started developing really bad eczema right here under my eyes, like really flaky eczema and poofy eyes. We went to Hawaii. I wasn't doing any cottage cheese. I wasn't doing any kind of dairy just because, wasn't seeking it out. Wasn't doing the yogurt. Eczema has gone away. It hasn't come back. So again, things change in our body as well, right? And so what I have found is that if I have cottage cheese or yogurt on occasion and I'm not doing it every day, I don't have a problem. If I do it every day, then I'm going to have the eczema. Do I want eczema? No. So again, some things you just have to kind of put in check also. So that's something else I wanted to share also. And our body does change with some of these intolerances that we have as our system changes as well, because the way gluten used to affect me 10 years ago is completely different than how gluten affects me today. And so those are the things that we want to stop and say, what's going on with me? Lynn, I love this. Thought it was just me. I had blood work last month. My cortisol was up. IF helps me so much, plus magnesium. And for me, I had to up my protein and strength train because my testosterone was low. Yeah. And so that's what was happening with me with the yogurt and the cottage cheese. I'm like, oh, what a great source of protein. I'll just add like a serving in a day. Can't do it. So again, you just have to kind of pick days I feel I can fit it in and find some sources of protein in other places as well. But yeah, I'm glad that you're finding a solution to what you are feeling as well. Enrolled in your July course. Can't wait. Helen, I can't wait. Also, it's super fun to have you guys go through the process of class. 21 days is what I'm going to ask of you, Helen, and everyone else in the July course. 21 days, I want you to show up selfishly for you and go all in and really think about the concepts that I share in class. This is not a nutrition based class. It is really a mindset course and really helping you figure out how some lifestyle changes can really help you reap everything that it is that you say that you want for yourself from life. And so I'm excited to have you. Donna, so there's nothing wrong with water only, no coffee for 20 hours. Nothing wrong. Coffee is just an energy boost and kind of a hunger hormone like trick that we use to kind of, fend off hunger sensations. But yeah, you can go 20 hours with just water. You want to get your electrolytes in there for sure. And sometimes even some carbonated water can help also. Carol, I was hoping to connect with some women live. Carol, what do you mean live? We're live. So hopefully you got what you came here for. We love having you here. Hello, Dima. The thing is you're amazing and I just apply everything you have taught me. Well, girlfriend, test it out, right? Test it out because I'm testing things out in real time as well. And so we want to make sure that we are questioning everyone and everything and not just blindly following, right? So test out everything I do. And it sounds like what you're doing is working for you, man. I would love to be running a 10K every other day. That's my goal. Now that I know that my osteopenia is in check and I'm able to kind of fend off some of these aches and pains I was feeling, I can't wait to get back to that. And that's another one of those things on my kind of bucket list, so to speak, is I want to get back into getting into some 5Ks. And since I have a daughter who is just an amazing cross country and track runner, I thought it'd be something fun for us to be able to do together is get out there and do some, Saturday races around town and kind of have that thing to bond with as, women runners. So yeah, keep doing you, girlfriend. Okay. That's all I have got for today. I love hanging out with you. I love that we get to be really open and honest. Hey, I'm not perfect. I am 100% on this journey and discovering things just the way you guys are as well. I am always going to come to you with the scoop that is straight and honest and share all the things that I am going through, discoveries I'm making, and some of the areas I'm struggling in. So thank you for allowing me this space. Thank you for allowing a safe place for me to share. Thank you for giving me the grace that I need sometimes when things aren't always 100%. And I will always pay that forward to y'all as well. I did put the link for the intermittent fasting course in the comment section as well. If you're interested in jumping in with us, once you're a graduate, you're always a graduate. And we love and honor that title here and respect it as well. So we love having our graduates around. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope this helped you if you're struggling in some maybe new areas with being a menopausal or postmenopausal woman. And remember, there's nothing wrong with you. There's just a lot going on with you, and you can get to the bottom of it and you can start feeling better whenever you decide. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys inside the intermittent fasting course this weekend. I will also see you guys tonight in our midlife mindset shift course for our weekly call. Have a great weekend. I love you guys.